Welcome to Smeatharpe Stadium near Taunton, one of the homes of stock car racing in the southwest of England. It's our first ever visit to this very tight and tricky concrete surfaced oval, and it's a big day for the Brisca Formula 2 stock cars as they contest the Jones Skips sponsored Grand National Championship. 30 cars have qualified for the main event, which is up first, followed by a full programme of heats, final and Grand National later on. Big names out there, to say the least, to do battle here over 20 laps in our main race of the day, sponsored by Jones Skips, based up in the West Midlands. 184 Aaron Vates has qualified in pole position, with the national points champion 560 Luke Wrench starting alongside him, proudly displaying the silver roof. The second row, 183 Charlie Ginchard, last year's novice of the year, at the superstar grade this year. Alongside him will be Mr. Box Office himself, number 24 John Palmer, the current national points leader. Starting from the third row of the grid, 542 Stephen Gilbert, the British champion. Alongside him, 302 local star Dale Moon. On the fourth row of the grid, 538 Chevy Mills and 539, which is Steve Hartnett. Fifth row we have number 920 Wayne Wadge, and completing the top 10 on the grid is Chris McCullough, number 522. Off they go then on their rolling laps. There's Jess Ward, the leading lady of Brisca F2, lining up on the sixth row of the grid. Gaz Kitson's further down the order, the former double world champion. Already bumping into each other as they warm their tyres there. 184 Aaron Vate on the pole, Luke Wrench in 560 alongside him. 30 cars out there for one of the biggest races of this shortened Brisca F2 season, the Jones Skips Grand National Championship, over 20 laps of the tight Smeatharpe Stadium oval. Here we go then, let's get ready to rumble. Already the bumpers going in as they take the green flag. Already Harley Burns being taken out wide there now. Are they able to get round the first turn? No, of course they're not. This is a championship race. Wallop straight in we go. That was Julian Coombs in 828, Jack Cave in 801. A couple more cars have piled in behind just for good measure. I think Ben Borthwick's in there. There's a couple more gone off on the inside as well. Aaron Bates held his lead from pole position then. 881 Jamie Ward Scott on the left of the picture there, off on the inside, the white grey. There's more bumpers going in as they go into turn 3. Paul Rice there, Chris McCullough, Wayne Wadge, all the midfield getting involved. Ben Bate, the blue grader there, number 161. The pack slowing up. We've got caution flags out. Brisca F2 title races rarely seem to last more than one lap on the initial start, and that's a brave Marshall walking out to slow the field there with his yellow flag. I think the driver causing concern is Jack Cave, number 801 there. He got well and truly walloped straight in on the first turn. So the pack brought to a halt then. It is Jack Cave, 801, the blue grader, Captain Caveman as he's known, just checking that he's okay. He took the main impact into the wall. Here's a replay of the start. Aaron Vate led into the first turn. Luke Wrench was taken wide by Charlie Ginchard, and then a whole line of pushing behind him. They went. Fearsome impact for the 801 car of Cave there. We see it from another angle. He's on the front of that train of about 10 cars, and walloped straight in we go. And 4 other cars piled in with him. Thankfully Jack is okay, and we're ready for the restart with 184 of Aaron Vate in the lead. 542 Steve Gilbert, the British champion with the black and white checkered roof, in second place, and John Palmer, number 24, the Gala Night champion with the orange and white checkered roof, in third place. There's 920 Wayne Wadge. Matt Stoneman has made good progress in the early stages. He started on the 9th row of the grid, number 127. There's Luke Wrench, ahead of Chevy Mills. Behind them Steve Hartnett, the blue grader there, in 539. Wrench in 4th place, Mills 5th, Hartnett is 6th. Those to further down the grid haven't had a chance to make their moves yet. We're only a couple of laps into this Grand National Championship for 2020. Charlie Ginchard lost a bit of ground in the early stages there. Chris McCullough in the midfield, Dale Moon as well. This track built on a former airfield, built on the concrete runway. You can see there the rather uneven surface. Aaron Vate taking it as steadily as he dares. He's doing a Sebastian Vettel here, trying to back the field up and then anticipate the green flags going down on these restarts. Here we go then, the green goes down. Good restart by Luke Wrench, straight up the inside. John Palmer rather caught napping there. There's already chaos further back. Jamie Jones is going to go in backwards. Daz Kitson, Jess Ward, and about 3 others involved behind them. Green is out though. Jess Ward trying to recover. Mark Gibbs is in there. Jack Prosser as well. Steve Gilbert's taken the lead. We see there Gilbert's gone underneath the 184 of Aaron Vates on that restart, so he didn't anticipate it well enough. Luke Wrench is up there in third place. There's cars everywhere on turns 3 and 4. Jack Prosser gets going again, and Steve Gilbert run almost to the fence there by the 184, and Luke Wrench slips up the inside of both of them. He waited for the other two. Aaron Vates fires into both of them, takes them all into the fence. It's picking up where he left off at Birmingham last week, where he seemed to be trying to win races by smashing everybody else's car to bits. There's cars off at the other end of the raceway as well. This is absolutely frantic stuff. Steve Gilbert stuffed Chevy Mills into the back of Aaron Vates now to try and recoup some ground, and Luke Wrench has got the lead as a result of that schmozzle on the restart. Aaron Vates gets run wide again by Steve Gilbert. This is turning into a banger race, the rate they're going. This is fantastic stuff. Chevy Mills in with the bumper this time. So easy to get a run there into the turn and smack your opponent out wide. Side by side for second place. This is allowing Luke Wrench to escape in the lead, though. There he goes up the home straight. Second place, we've got about 7 cars at the moment, all trying to be second. Matt Stoneman's come through, Ben Bates in there, Charlie Ginchard, Aaron Vates dropping back, Justin Fisher in 315 coming through, Gilbert's back in the pack as well. I can hardly keep up with this. Aaron Vates fires in, wallop, straight in goes Fisher. There's about 4 more cars crash behind Ben Bates, Paul Wright, Dale Moon, look at that, in 302 has parked on somebody's bonnet there. Stevie Hartnett is on top of. I think they're trying to go last car running in this race, and at the rate it's going to be Luke Wrench, because he's out in front of everybody. Steve Gilbert with damage there to the right rear corner, the tyre smoking away, rubbing against the ironwork on the bumper there. You can hardly see through the smoke there. This is chaos. Total carnage in this Grand National Championship. Mark Gibbs still going in 5.78 ahead of Jack Prosser there. Jamie Jones has come to rest on the inner curbing. Not many cars left running, and we're only just past half distance. There's broken and bent cars littering the raceway. There's Paul Rice, number 890, on turn 4. It's still Luke Wrench with a clear lead in the 560, the silver top, as Ben Borthwick launches in on Chris McCullough there and takes Dave Sansom wide as well. Harley Byrne says, thank you very much, I'll go up the inside of all 3 of you. Josh Weir in there as well. Here comes Dave Sansom with the bumper and wallop straight in. Goodness me, that was some impact. Head on into Daz Kitson. My goodness, well, Dave Sansom, 352, his nickname is the Semtex Kid, and that shows why, because when he puts the bumper in, it's like a bomb going off. I felt that one from here in my commentary position. It was Josh Weir that he stuffed head on into the 732 of Daz Kitson. That was some impact. Well, Luke Wrench keeping his head while everybody else is completely losing theirs behind him. He's away and gone. He's going to win this championship. Pulling off there to the infield. Here's 560 Luke Wrench. He's coming up to lap Dave Sansom in 352, so he's lapped most of the field now. He's way ahead of everybody else. I will admit at this stage I haven't got a clue who's in second place, because there's been so much going on behind him. I'll have a look back down the order. This might be the battle for second place, in fact. 538 Chevy Mills and 183 Charlie Ginchard. Yes, they're fighting for second place. They're way behind Luke Wrench. The few survivors battle their way to the finish. What an incredible race this has been. Brisca F2 at its very best here at Smeatharpe Stadium near Taunton. Matt Stoneman on the back of Aaron Vates. Pole sitter in this race. He led the first couple of laps up to the restart. We're coming around to start the final lap this time, though, in the Jones Skips Grand National Championship, and the Grand National is going to be won by 560 Luke Wrench. Into his last lap he goes. There's the fight for 4th place, so Wrench leading by at least a quarter of a lap now. He's got this race in the bag. Here he comes down the back straight for the final time, round turns 3 and 4. Your Grand National champion for 2020 is Luke Wrench in 560 with a dominant drive. He's probably wondering where everybody else has got to. Power slides in celebration. There's not many cars left behind him. That was one of the most destructive races that I have seen this season. Brisca F2 at its best here on the Taunton Oval. We'll confirm the results shortly then, but congratulations to Luke Wrench in 560. The rest of the pack head back into the pits to lick their wounds after that one. A few cars with a fair amount of repairs needed, I would think. Thankfully all drivers are okay, including Jack Cave, number 801. We saw the race stopped in the first couple of laps for him. Limited capacity crowd here at Taunton certainly enjoyed that one. Luke Wrench taking the win over Charlie Ginchard, who just beat Chevy Mills to the line for 3rd place. Aaron Vates taking 4th ahead of Matt Stoneman, then Chris McCullough. They were the only cars on the lead lap. Dave Sansom 7th ahead of 979 Paul Moss, with Ben Bates and Wayne Wudge rounding up the top 10.
Grand National Championship winner, 560 Luke Wrench. That was an entertaining race at the start.
Yeah, I think we got the good side of the break really. Obviously, a lot good on behind, but the first few laps were interesting really. Luckily, I got the right break, I think.
Yeah, you must have been expecting a big one from John behind you right at the start.
Yeah, well, obviously, when I come off at the start, I thought, can I tuck in? Can I get on the inside line? And I thought, I'm not. Well, Ginch is up the side of me, so let him go. Well, didn't let him go. Keep to the wide. The next minute, John come in, and obviously I took back under and got away then a little bit, and came on to the wave yellow then.
Yeah, the yellow flags came out, but once you got away, you just controlled it. And luckily, the guys behind were doing a good job for you as well, because they were just cleaning everything up behind you and leaving you to go.
Yeah, that was it. Obviously, I look in my mirror and I see 3 reds or 4 reds banging out of each other. And I thought, oh, this is great. I'm on my own now. I got the break. Let's just keep it dead down. And the last few laps, though, there was a bit of oil down. So I was like, I was trying to look in your mirror to see where they are. And I couldn't see them, but I thought, just keep my head down, keep out of trouble. And I see cars piling everywhere. And I was like, oh, we're going to have a wave yellow in a minute, but we got a break, so it's good. I was happy with that.
And of course, it's nice in this strange season that we've had. It's a championship win as well.
Yeah, obviously it's our own championship this year, so it's a plus side to win something this year. So yeah, it's been a bit weird, but it's been good.
Well, once again, congratulations.
Thank you. Cheers.
Well, that certainly was a lively race indeed. There's the highlights. Some wallop there for Daz Kitson, who was sitting on the turn as Josh Weir was stuck head on into him by Dave Sansom. Congratulations to Luke Wrench, dominant drive to become the Grand National Champion. On to the rest of the programme for the Brisca Formula 2s, then 2 heats to follow. The first 10 finishers in each of them go through to the meeting final. Luke Wrench is out in heat number 1. So out there to look for are Gary Wrench, Luke's uncle, in car 359. Chevy Mills is out in this one, Matt Stoneman as well. Seen them in action already. Aaron Veit in 184 and Steve Gilbert in 542. Now he'll be looking for an improved result here. He crossed the line 5th in the Grand National Championship, was disqualified for the car losing a wheel guard due to damage during the race. So he'll be aiming to make up for that here in 542. Look out also for 689 Joe Marquand. He's the grandson of former Brisca F2 world champion Johnny Marquand. 182 Jack White and number 10 Sam Birchall lead them away. 16 laps the distance. Here we go then. First 10 go through to the final. Jack White leads them off under pressure from Gary Kitching in the 746 car. Adrian Watts in there as well in 222. The White Raiders fight it out. There's Gary Wrench, 359, the leading yellow. As a look to the inside as the White Raiders rather stumble over each other there through turn 4. But it's Gary Kitching in 746 who's got the early lead. Harley Burns has got away well, so has Matt Stoneman. Watts has a look up the inside in 222, but here comes Gary Wrench in 359, thinking if my nephew can win here at Taunton today, then so can I. And he takes the early lead. Starting to sort themselves out behind. Steve Gilbert with the black and white checkered roof has got away well, looking to make up for his earlier disappointment. You can see the guards over the rear wheels, a strip of metal extending from the side rail on these cars. Steve's car lost one of those due to damage in the main events, and he was disqualified having crossed the line 5th. 320 there, Matt Hatch passes Ben Veit. 184 Aaron Vates in there as well. Mr. Front Bumper, I think we're going to have to call him, because he's constantly using it. Wrench leads it. Looks like possibly Marquand up into second place now in the 689. There's 86 Jess Ward, her aerofoil missing. She damaged it in the main race, the Grand National Championship, and bouncing off the wall there. That was Matt Weston, one of the White Raiders, sending a couple of cars onto the centre. Russ Chadwick taking a chicane down the back straight there. Well, this oval's so short, some drivers call it the mini roundabout. It is one of the smallest tracks to stage Brisca F2, but it lends itself to brilliant racing, as you can clearly see, for these cars. Aaron Vates renewing his rivalry from the main event with Luke Wrench. They were fighting for the lead in the early stages. Luke making progress up the order, trying to get the bumper in on the 184. Putting it towards halfway. It is still Gary Wrench in 359 who leads the way, but look who's up to second. It's Steve Gilbert in the 542 car now, the British champion. Gary Wrench a bit hesitant there through turns 3 and 4. Has he got a problem perhaps? Steve Gilbert has caught him and he gets the bumper in through turn 2. He goes through. Looks like it is Johnny Marquand, Joe Marquand rather, in the 689 in behind him. As you mentioned, his grandfather Johnny was world champion many years ago in this formula. Joe's father, also called John, was a Brisca F2 racer in years gone by as well. 542 Stephen Gilbert. His dad Pete was a regular in the F2s for many years as well. Hasn't seen that long since Steve was starting out in the mini stocks. One of the yellow grades, I think that's Russ Chadwick, has spun there on the inside of the home straight. Here's Chevy Mills in the 538 car, chased by Gibbo. Mark Gibbs in 578. They're battling a little further down the top 10 at the moment. Still Stephen Gilbert setting the pace in the 542 car. That goes in there on Sam Birchall from Aaron Veit in 184. He just cannot pass a car without giving it a wallop, can he? Great stuff, a great entertainer is Aaron Veit. Well, Steve Gilbert in the clear. He'll have 3 laps to go this time, lapping the very smart number 446 car there. That's Josh Vickers. Moving into the closing stages now. Brisca F2 Heat 1. Don't forget, the first 10 finishers go into the final, the rest into the consolation. There's Luke Wrench. He is closing on our race leader in second place. He's got past Mark Wand, Aaron Veit and Matt Stoneman next in the order. Around to start the final lap. There's a back marker, Matt Weston between first and second. No, there isn't anymore because Luke Wrench deals with him. Can he catch Steve Gilbert for his second win of the day, or is Gilbert going to make up for his disappointment earlier on? Here they come into the back straight for the final time. Luke Wrench trying to line up the race leader. Is he going to get him? He'll try and get up the inside on the exit. He's not quite going to do it. Steve Gilbert takes the win. Second goes to Luke Wrench, and the rest of them come home. Looks like Joe Marquand was third ahead of Aaron Veit. And the rest of the places in just a moment. Well, local lad Steve Gilbert takes the win then. Also competed successfully in scrambling, or motocross as it's now known in the past. Luke Wrench having to settle for second place this time, and he does get the fastest lap according to the live timing. I'll confirm the results in just a moment then on this tight and tricky Smeatharpe Oval, based on a former airbase here. Original surface of the runway used for the racing surface of the oval. Certainly bumpy, the concrete surface. Lends itself to brilliant racing from the F2s, the saloon stocks, and many more formulas. Banger racing popular here as well. Presentations about to take place down there on the home straight, all socially distanced of course. It is Stephen Gilbert who takes the win in heat number 1 for the Brisca Formula 2 stock cars. Rest of the field head back to get ready for either the final or the consolation. Find out shortly who has qualified through. First 10 from the consolation will also go through into final. And there is a Grand National at the end, of course. So Steve Gilbert the winner by just 0.2 of a second ahead of Luke Wrench. Nearly got him on the run to the line. Joe Marquand third ahead of Aaron Veit and Matt Stoneman, with Ben Bate in 6th position. Chevy Mills fought off Mark Gibbs to take 7th. Then Gary Wrench, the early leader, and Harley Burns rounding out the top 10.
One winner, 542 Stephen Gilbert. Luckily, you got that because Luke was right behind you at the finish.
Yeah, he was coming, but I've done a good enough job at the start to get away, didn't I? So.
Yeah, you've got to get your way through the traffic early, haven't you, and make your break.
Yeah, I think like as part and parcel of racing down here, you need to be real quick through the traffic, and I guess like racing here all the time, you get to know that, don't you?
Yeah, this is your local track, of course. You're the current British Championship. We're not having a British Championship this year, but go on and win the final next.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Obviously, I've got to start from the back of the Reds again now, which it shouldn't be a problem, being that I've raced from Superstar and stuff before. But you can never tell what happens with these tracks like these, being that it's tight, there's lots of action, so it'll be quite good, I think.
Yeah, that's what the front bumper's for, isn't it?
Exactly. Look out first, look out turn 1.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Plenty of hard hits going in that heat number 1. Not quite as hard hitting as the main event, the Grand National Championship. The other half of the entry will be out on track for heats number 2. Steve Gilbert with just minor fettling to do to his car ahead of the meeting final this time, but some have a few more repairs to do. Julian Coombs from Cornwall in 828. Heat number 2 then on track then. Names to look out for in this one include Charlie Ginchard, number 183, Ben Borthwick, 418, Chris McCullough in 522, that man Dave Sansom in 352, watch for him using the front bumper. Also out in this one is 544, Will Adams recently scored his maiden final win up at Birmingham, moving him up to yellow grade. White grade is headed round by Ben Spence alongside Jamie Jones. We've got a novice starting from the back as well, Dane Pritlove in 540. One car that won't be starting, is pulling off there, number 228, that's Stuart Deacon. Red tops headed by Borthwick alongside McCullough. We go then, another 16 laps coming your way from the Brisca Formula 2's. Ben Spence, number 903, leads them around the first turn ahead of Jamie Jones. The back straight they go for the first time. Jamie Ward-Scott in third place. There's Dave Sansom, he's already on the attack, getting past Will Adams there. I think that was in the 544. First time from yellow. Running wide there, James Lindsay in 572, the blue grader. Slightly smaller field out on track for this one. The white grader's already into battle. Jamie Jones has taken the lead in 915. Kind of pulling off to the centre there, couldn't see who it was. Just got out of the way of the leaders in time as Jamie Ward-Scott up the inside in 881. Both he and Jones had a great meeting recently at Birmingham, the only appearance of the F2s at Birmingham this season. Ben Spence getting involved as well. This is great stuff between the three white graders. Higher grades starting to catch them up. Chris Hatch running wide there in 820. He drops back down the order. Here's McCula chasing the 418 car. We've got a car in the wall on turn 2. That's Jack Prosser, number 844. He's not going any further. Chris Hatch in 820. We saw his son Matt in action in the earlier race. Mate of Ben Borthwick, 522. Chris McCula fighting it out with him. It's 881. Jamie Ward-Scott, who leads the way. Instrumental behind the development of the Brisca F2 E Series online in the early part of this year. Looking to try and attain yellow grade. Push and shove there. Jamie Jones has been pushed back down the order in 915. Gets a wallop there from Chris McCula. Lively stuff again in the midfield. Jamie Ward-Scott has the lead then as we come up towards half distance. Being reeled in by the higher graders slightly now though. There's Charlie Ginchard, 183. Quickest men on track at the moment. Chasing now 539. That is Steve Hartnett. Gets past him, no problem at all, the blue top. Next target is Ben Borthwick. Here's Jamie Ward-Scott, chased by 325. That's Ryan Sheehan. He gets through on the inside at turns 1 and 2, takes the lead. So the yellow grader now up front. Jamie Ward-Scott second, Ben Borthwick in third, then Sansom and Ginchard. This is the battle for soon be second place as they're catching 881 Jamie Ward-Scott in a Daz Kitson built car. Through goes 183 of Charlie Ginchard. He's up the inside of that little group. He's looking fast here. Leader laps Dane Pritlove, whose car's smoking a bit there through turn 4. I think that was just tyre smoke. See the black cross on the back of his car. It means he's a novice, starting from the back of the grid, just learning his craft in Brisca F2. Charlie Ginchard's got past him now. He's up to second. Sansom, Borthwick, McCula. There's Steve Hartnett. So Jamie Ward-Scott's been shuffled down the order. It's still Ryan Sheehan who leads the way in car number 325, being caught by the 183 of Charlie Ginchard. It's the home straight they come then. He's still raging for third, but Ginchard can sense victory here. Phenomenally successful driver in national mini stocks. Moves straight into Brisca F2 as he turns 16. He takes the lead there coming out of turn 4, last year's Novice of the Year winner. Had a lot of bad luck mechanically with his cars over the last couple of years, but when it all works well, he is a brilliant driver, Charlie Ginchard. Team attained superstar status for the first time this season. He is heading for victory in this heat number 2. Oh, a tangle there, that's Chris Hatch tangling with one of the blue tops. I think that might be James Lindsay. Won't hinder our race leader though. Comes up to lap Ben Spence, who is fighting for the lead early on. It is going to be a win for number 183 Charlie Ginchard. Ryan Sheehan still there in second. Still the battle goes on for third and fourth place for that. Ben Borthwick trying to lunge in on the final term. It's a win for Ginchard in 183. Clear of Sheehan in second. We'll see who got third in a moment. Close between Borthwick, Sansom and Chris McCula as they cross the line there. Confirm that in a moment. There is Ben Borthwick. He may have got third place there, I think, but it's a win for 183 Charlie Ginchard. The teenage sensation moves through to the final, as will the next 9 finishers. The rest go into the consolation race. Ginchard from the almost from the very back of the grid. Of course, he had our novice Dane Pritlove behind him. Well done to him. Completed the distance in that one. So the pack will wait to find out the results to see if they have qualified for the meeting final or whether they have to try again in the consolation, where again the first 10 go through into meeting final. Not too much work for the recovery teams. A slightly quieter race, that one. Ginchard the winner by 1 second ahead of Ryan Sheehan. It was Ben Borthwick who pipped Dave Sansom to the line for third place for the last bend effort. Chris McCula 5th ahead of Steve Harnett. 7th place going to Paul Rice ahead of Jamie Ward-Scott, who was fighting for the lead early on. Jamie Jones and Wayne Watch round out the top 10.
Heat 2 in a 183 Charlie Ginchard. You look like you got a bit of a quieter heat there, but it's still hard work round here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a proper stock car track. I think I definitely had the easier heat. Cars everywhere, but you know, it wasn't the one I really wanted to win. I wanted to win the big one, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you were in the mix in the big one. You were throwing some bumpers in there as well.
Yeah, it's got to, isn't it? It's a stock car race, you know. You can't just let it fall to your hand. You've got to make it happen, sort of thing. So, you know, it wasn't to be today, but you know, I've got plenty more years left in me.
Yeah, you're having a good end to the season as well. You're picking up wins and good results all the way through.
Yeah, it's just consistency now. I want to keep superstar, obviously. I want to be at the top of the sport, and to show you at the top of the sport, you've got to be really consistent. So, you know, I'm trying not to knock as many wheels off and just keep it going, sort of thing.
You're going to have your work cut out in this final as well. There's some big hitters in there, isn't there?
Yeah, it's like that round here. You know, it's a proper stock car track. I enjoy it every time I come here. So this final obviously is going to be good, yeah. But if you can get that lucky break, you know, it's going to be your race. But if you don't, it's just going to be a stock car race.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
Typical hard-hitting Smeatharpe Stadium action from the Brisca Formula 2 stock cars so far. A couple of the teams with a fair number of repairs to make before we get into the consolation, the final, and the Grand National coming up in the second part of our programme. A short break for now, though. Really enjoyed the action so far. Don't go away.